Welcome to Forever in Bloom. This is a cinematic exploration, investigation and celebration of Jeff Goldblum and his career. I'm Beth, I'm a filmmaker, and with me is Liam, a sound engineer.
Hello.
And photographer Seb.
Hello.
Yeah. So this one, which I think is episode 25, even though I said last week was episode 25, I don't know how to count. But we are watching
What's
the
new?
1992 drama comedy thriller Shooting Elizabeth, which is a movie that tells you that sometimes all it takes to save a marriage is an attempted murder, an AWOL wife, and a mountaineering priest.
I've noticed something with films that the more genre categories that are attached to a film, usually the most lacking in character they actually are.
Yeah.
It's like a compensation thing.
Okay, so
how
if
you guys feel about that?
I'll pull up the kilt here. I did say drama by mistake. It's just a comedy thriller.
Okay. Then this film was amazing. No, it was not. It was, well.
Can I be honest about something?
Always.
I was kind of charmed by this.
Yeah, I knew you were going to say that. So, every actor that isn't the main two, awful.
That's not true. Take that back.
Apart from the detective.
Yes. Yeah.
I thought you were going to say Mr. Chu.
Oh, no, Mr. Chu's
Yeah,
also
okay.
fantastic.
The Mad Mountaineer. Okay, those four aside, every other actor, garbage in this film.
Yeah.
Delivery, awful. But this had a big old case of BJE for me, man. Big Jeff energy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. He was a bit like Jeff's like particular brand of like eccentricism is very good for like the panicky like neuroticism of this character. But I guess to let people know what in the whole shit we are talking about, this movie is about Jeff, who is an American executive living in Europe. He works for a water company, and he plots to murder his wife because she's judgmental and callous, and he hates her. And then instead of actually murdering her, he bottles it, and she decides to disappear and go camping. And he then gets accused for the murder of his wife.
Yeah.
Film.
Yeah, that's it.
That is the film. That is
Which is actually
pretty much
also
the film.
weirdly like the plot of Gone Girl, more or less.
Mate, the last note I've written is Poor Man's Gone Girl.
This is I did call it Bargain Bin Gone Girl in also one of my notes. But
Literally.
But for those of you who haven't seen Gone Girl, you don't have to. You could watch this instead, and it's essentially the same thing.
No, don't do that. Gone Girl is a fucking amazing movie. Do not choose to watch Gone Girl over this.
But I feel a little bit bad about it, but I actually genuinely had a really good time watching this morning. I should point out, for context, my first note is actually I'm eating pancakes because I made pancakes this morning.
Why is that a note?
I don't know where I wrote it down, but I wrote down my first note. I'm eating pancakes at 9:20 a.m.
So you were just in a good place.
Yeah, I was just eating I had some pancakes, had some coffee. I was like, oh, let's have an American film, and then it was Spanish, but that's fine. And I actually quite like how this film opens.
Remind me.
So it opens with a couple of cutaway shots of the city he lives in and a couple of bits of Jeff's life, and it's an immediate voiceover from Jeff.
Yes.
Sounding like he's talking to a therapist. And then it cuts to him getting out of a taxi, and he was just talking to the taxi driver. But there was something about the energy of it that I was immediately like, I'm here for this, actually.
It gets you off to a rip-roaring start.
Yeah.
He's describing his dream, isn't he? And
Yeah.
I think that sequence kind of lets us know what we're in for a little bit. There's lots of twists and turns.
Yeah.
I guess the plot's quite interesting in that way. There's countless times where they build up your expectation and then they kind of tear it down with giving you something else which goes against completely what you're expecting. And that happens over and over. But I actually found it a bit tiresome, to be honest. I kind of hit the point where I was like, okay.
I feel that.
I just felt like a used slinky, to be honest.
Wow. That's not really something I think of being used, but I see that, bent out of shape a bit. Someone's been a bit rough with the slinky, and one of the hoops are a bit crooked.
Yeah, that's the effect, and I don't really know if I want that effect from a film.
No, I understand that. I wouldn't want to get crooked, but I get what you mean. Like, I can't like fully say like, oh, I would watch this film again. I loved it, but it definitely had a charm for sure. Like some of the characters definitely had a charm, but even though it was quite short, it still felt a little bit like it overstayed its welcome. You know, like they could have been a bit of a cheeky little snip on that film, and it probably would have been great.
That's something we're noticing. I feel it's a regular comment that one of us has on the majority of the films that we watch, is that there was something good in there and it just overstayed its welcome slightly. And if it was shorter, it would have added a lot to it. I do agree.
Need a bit of a fluff cutting in a lot of these 90s films, I think.
Yeah. I felt like, going back to the cameos thing, I felt like they tried almost a bit too hard to kind of charm us too much with the cameos. Like when they have it's the guy that robs the house at the very start. And then they try and sort of like create this whole character, this like interesting, funny plot with what's going on in the burglar's head.
Yeah.
And it's kind of a bit long-winded. And I feel like that happens a few times in the film.
Yeah, I think that they were using that to kind of like set up Jeff's whole like inspiration of wanting to murder his wife, because she just like, the burglar comes into the house and all she does is just ridicule Jeff for letting a burglar into the house, even though he's holding a gun at them both.
Yeah.
And just uses it as an opportunity to just fucking properly just beat on him basically whilst calling the police. So that's the thing that kind of I think like breaks his back. But it definitely again was like they tried to stretch those laughs out for as long as they could over that.
Yeah. I mean, conversely, at that exact moment is when I jacked in for it. I was like ready. like I knew what it was offering me.
Did you just say you jacked it?
I what? Sorry?
Did you just say that you jacked it?
I jacked in for it.
Oh fuck, man. I know you enjoyed the film, but there's a time and a place.
No, that was later on in the film.
Note number 7.
But actually more like 17.
Note number 1, eating pancakes. Note number 7, just jacked it. Great movie.
No, like I feel like I knew what the film was going to be doing at that point in time. Like I knew the kind of thing to expect. I knew the eccentricities of the fact that most of the actors are bad.
Yes, speaking of that, like the detective that is on the case and is like just has already made his mind up that Jeff killed his wife and is just trying to find the evidence. He is in a different film to everyone else, mate.
So I have a really weird specific reference of who he is the combination of. And Liam, I feel like you might be one of the only people in the world who immediately will know the two people and how.
Is one of them Poirot?
No.
Oh, okay.
So Daniel Craig's character in Knives Out.
Okay, yeah.
Meets Donny Bernay is the only like. So for those who don't know, Donny Bernay is a contemporary funk soul musician who makes music that sounds like it was made in the 80s, and he does not take himself particularly seriously.
He's got a vibe.
Yeah, and this detective, I would watch a film series about this detective, Detective Del Rio.
I know, like he's just full of like these one-liners that come from like this vaudeville play kind of thing. It's just like when he's searching Jeff's house and Jeff's like, when he finds out that he's got a warrant, he immediately is starting to be really nice to them and asks if they want lunch. And then like his walkaway line is like,
"You excuse me if I don't stay for lunch, but murder has a funny way of taking away my appetite."
And then just like drifts out of the room, and it's like, what are you? Where are you? You're not in the same film as everyone else right now.
He does a lot of good good pointing and good like motion. I need to find out who he was. Hold on.
It accentuates half of his lines like with a gun, like cocking a gun or moving a gun up in place. Like it's absolutely insane. It's so hokey. I love it. That's quite a sad role I've just found on IMDb. They could have at least there's the maid in the film that's like always checking in on him and giving him mints and like then talks to the police and stuff afterwards. Mm-hmm. She's literally just listed as pillow mint maid. How degrading is that?
I mean, that's not good, is it? One thing I will say is that she has one of my favourite lines of the entire film because of her delivery of it. which is so there's a point in the film where it has been made national news that Jeff's character has allegedly murdered his wife. So they're on live TV interviewing staff at the hotel where it apparently happened, and she's being interviewed, and she ends her segment by saying, "Nice lady, loved mints."
Well, I have less of that point, but he said he would give it to his wife. Nice lady. Love mints.
And it had
that stuck out like a
right?
thumb when she said it, didn't it?
Man.
But another very specific reference to Paul Blart Mall Cop 2. She said it in the same energy as the guy at the weapons expo.
The glue foam.
The glue foam man.
The big sticky mess. A grenade launcher that shoots glue foam.
The thing that shoots glue foam.
Yeah, it was that exact same, like, they got one read of that, for sure, that wasn't, like, good enough, and they were like, just do it with a bit more energy, and that was the second one, and they took it. They did not...
She did a yell, and they were like,
yeah,
all good.
That's it.
Fuck's sake. So Baz Taylor directed this movie, and I think, like, I don't want to cast too many dispersions, but I think Baz Taylor was going through some stuff in 1992, because he made 3 films, and all of them are about men getting revenge on their wives in some way.
What are the other 2 films?
Let me quickly scroll to where they are. 92, we have Near Misses and Tattletale are either side of Shooting Elizabeth. Near Misses is a philandering executive tries to juggle 2 wives and a mistress, and finally finds himself being shadowed by an angry Russian in the Cold War. So, like, getting annoyed by women. And then you have Tattletale. A failed actor gets his 15 minutes of infamy when his ex-wife writes a vengeful tell-all book about their marriage.
Bloody
and he
hell.
decides to use his acting skills to get revenge on her. He was going through some stuff, I think, in that year.
I think it's a good thing for directors to focus in on what they like to make films about and to really explore those ideas. But I think it's a bit extreme to literally be so glued to one particular idea, especially when it involves killing women.
Like, take that further. There is literally a line in this film where he says, I think it's like Jeff's friend or Jeff, one of the two, is like they're talking about the plot to murder his wife. And he says, every man thinks about it once in their life. Like, talking about murdering their wife.
That's the detective that says that.
Is it? It's the detective. Fuck.
But everyone in this film seems to be an expert on what women want, what women need, what men do to women, what men should be thinking about all this stuff. Like, everyone has their own...
And it's all written and directed by men.
Concrete, idea. Yeah, completely. And I just want to know, like, what communal book they've all been reading that's given them this knowledge. I'd like to know.
Whoever was the 1992 equivalent of Joe Rogan.
Yeah, probably.
Quick note, Jeff's birthday lasts longer than a day in this movie, but sure.
Yeah, he's like a child, isn't he? He goes around telling everyone he meets that it's his birthday. Like, a random guy in the lift tells him it's his birthday. Everyone at work tells him it's his birthday, like 3 days after his birthday party.
Yeah, it's like, he goes home, has a surprise party, then comes in the next day at work, and they're all like, surprise, birthday. And it's like, that was yesterday.
Maybe that's an American thing. Maybe they have long birthdays in America.
Maybe. There is, I think, kind of carrying on with, like, this dialogue thing, I think there's a lot of, like, the grandiose self-sense of worth in this. Like, there is a line which is just so off the cuff from Jeff when he's playing golf before the detectives come and see him. And he makes a joke about the equipment changing size because he goes to hit one of the big balls off to the side rather than the golf ball. And then just under his breath, he just goes, I stride the earth like Colossus.
10 years. Why they changed the size of the equipment, I don't know. I stride the earth like a colossus.
And then goes to hit at the ball. It's like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah.
I think he's riding on that energy that, you know, he's got like this constant adrenaline that was fear that he was going to get caught, and now it's all in his head clear, and he's in the clear, it's all working out, and he's just like very ecstatic about life, and that's why he's got this newfound confidence, which doesn't translate very well.
No. I would say my favourite part of this film probably is his like murder monologue.
Oh, I was about
Like
to bring that up. Yeah, it's so good.
Yeah, the monologue that he's giving, like where he's like practicing the speech he's going to give his wife before he kills her, like unbeknownst to him that she has already run off at this point. And it all gets diffused by him like accidentally shooting a pillow and then like getting scared and deciding he doesn't want to kill her anymore. But like the 5-minute monologue that he gives before that, man, I was so hooked. It's just got all of like the crazy Jeff energy that I wanted to do this podcast for.
Just threatening an empty chair for 5 minutes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and absolutely smashed it, man. It was so good.
It is captivating. It's probably one of the better pieces of acting that we've seen in the last few films.
Yeah.
That's why I think that it's that like eccentricism that Jeff has that like really just matches this like panicky neuroticism that this character has, man. That's why I think they're just perfect together in that scene, you know?
Yeah.
But I guess one of the last major plot developments that we should bring up is that his wife has ended up going to camp in the mountains, and he meets Father Chu, who is a priest and also a mad mountaineer, whatever in the world that means.
He's just called the Mad Mountaineer because he's like old and has crazy amounts of energy and is a bit nuts, and he's a sick like hunter and tracker. He's like,
really, he's just like a shape-shifting plot vessel, isn't he? He's kind of like he enables the story to move on. Like one minute he's a priest, the next minute he's a mountaineer, then he's like a relationship coach. Like he just sort of
I really liked the
everything
reveal.
together.
Yeah, he really did. I just loved the reveal of him being the Mad Mountaineer because he's wearing like the long priest gown. And he's like hearing Jeff bitch about the fact that the Mad Mountaineer isn't there and he should be here for the holiday and he wants to go out and hiking to find his wife. And then he just goes, by the way, and just like lifts his fucking like gown up to reveal like hiking boots. He's like, I am the Mad Mountaineer.
It's just that crazy idea that like all main characters in films seem to get special treatment. Why they'll tell someone their situation and people generally aren't interested, and then as soon as they give their backstory, suddenly everyone's like, oh, I'm going to drop everything in my life and help you fix your goal. And it happens in a lot of films that Jeff is in. He seems to have
It's just this era as well, I think, man, isn't it? Like they're just like, well, we need this to happen, so let's just make this dude do the thing that needs to happen.
Yeah.
I was going to say that I hate. There's one thing that, if it's true, does make me really angry, which is that the only reason that they are called pigeons is because of like clay pigeon shooting.
I hadn't considered that, to be honest.
And she's Elizabeth Pigeon, and if that's the case, I'm furious at this film now. And
what you think that's sorry? Why is it?
I think that's the reason they're called last name Pigeon, because he's shooting Elizabeth, and the whole thing is like clay pigeon shooting, or you go out shooting pigeons.
Oh.
Yeah. See what I mean?
Yeah.
Rubs me the wrong way a bit.
Yeah.
And because of that, like, some of the lines that the fucking detective gave out was like the lowest of low-hanging fruit for this thing, that I was genuinely surprised they didn't come out with like, stop that pigeon now!
Yeah.
I don't know how I feel about that. Maybe.
Yeah, I think you shouldn't be noticing decisions like that as a spectator. I think that's a very lazy filmmaking sign, isn't it? When you're kind of connecting the dots like that.
Yeah, when it just clicked in my head when I was watching it, I was like, oh man, if that's the case, fucking hell, that sucks.
So I have given this a 9 in True Bloom.
For True Bloom?
Yeah.
I gave it an 8. I gave it an 8, to be fair.
There's just something about it. He's got a power going on. Liam.
What?
I'm sensing a weird energy. What just happened?
Beth, can you not see the fact that Liam is now in front of horses?
Oh yeah. Oh, lovely. Nice.
I like how unimpressed you are. I actually really appreciate that. Because I too am unimpressed by the horses.
Well, still, you didn't have to derail the whole podcast for it, did you?
Anyway.
I didn't write anything down for some reason.
Classic.
But I'm going to give it a 7.5.
Okay, nice.
0.5s.
Because I love me a
7.5, 8 and 9. This might be a high scorer.
Yeah.
Craft. I gave it a 4 out of 10.
I gave it a 5, to be fair.
It's just not made that well, is it? It's just like shot pretty boringly.
Yeah.
Sounds shite.
There is some really bad ADR, actually.
It's really bad.
Yeah,
ADR.
I'm going to drop this now that I'm thinking about it. That's going down to a 3.
Jesus.
I know. Sorry, aggressive.
I think
but...
there was some. I felt like there was some interesting camera work in there, and I like the setting. I like any film that's set near or by the sea.
Yeah,
but that's kind
fair.
of more personal preference, isn't it? But I gave it a 5.
Nice.
Cool.
I'm just I see like all these Jeff films in their own separate category, completely isolated from all other films for some reason. Like if you had to rate this against all other films, it would probably be a lot lower.
Yeah, we're doing these out of the Jeff films. We're trying to find the best Jeff film.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So for enjoyability, I put 6 out of 10.
Nice. Yeah, I went for 7. That felt natural to me.
I've got a 6.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Wow.
Okay. Sorry, I made a very strange noise there, didn't I?
What does this mean? Tell us where it is, sir.
So, it is number... Is this correct? Hold on, let me just double check one thing.
His formulas.
My numbers are spilling everywhere.
The math is loose.
This is number 3. This is the third. This is the third.
Are you joking?
No.
What's it just beat? What did it knock off? What was
No, sorry. It's drawn third.
With
Oh my god, I just had it. With Between the Lines.
Oh. From a long time ago.
From a long time ago.
Yeah.
That was an
Forgot
early
it existed, so
film.
that's fine, I guess.
Good film.
Yeah, but-
I'd say in Between the Lines was definitely better than this.
I don't.
Yeah, we just.
It's been too long.
As a film, probably yes, but as a Jeff, no.
Yeah, that's true. This is some
This one had a more primo Jeff, so they weigh
Gotta
each other
remember
out,
that.
you know.
top tier Jeff, but
To be honest, half the time when we're talking, I forget we're even talking about Jeff Goldblum. I just think we're talking about film. Sorry.
and then do you accidentally
That's
bring up
fine.
Jeff Goldblum too much in other conversations you have? I do. I definitely do.
Do you? People always ask me all the time. They're like, do you love Jeff Goldblum then? Do you have a shrine to him in your room? And I go,
Yes.
yes. And then I go, no, I don't. No, I don't. And then I run upstairs and hide it. And no, I don't. I definitely don't. Yeah.
My dad has this thing, like, does it with my brother as well. He'll find like one thing that he's seen that we've liked or enjoyed, or is like connected to us in some way, and he's like, cool, well that's you fucked forever. Because my brother made one like Freddo sticker for his tattoo business, and he's just been getting Freddos for every birthday, like fucking loads of Freddos. He'll just be like, well, here you go. And then now every like card I get is like a Jeff Goldblum themed card.
No, I rate that actually. That's very good.
Oh, no.
It's great.
Oh, my God. I'd have to nip that in the bud if that became a thing with me and my friends or family. I'd have to be like, no, this is strictly work. No pleasure. Absolutely no pleasure comes out of it. Jeff Goldblum. So just going back to what you were just talking about, my thing for many years was owls. Really, it's going a whole cyclical back to the start of our conversation. And I found a box the other day because I'm currently at my parents' house, and I found about 15 owls in this box that I'd obviously been given.
I assume stuffed.
Oh, for God's sake. They were like plastic owls. They were like little toys. And then there was only like 3 or 4 like dead ones. No, obviously they were all fake owls.
Nice.
If it makes you feel better,
yeah.
mine was penguins.
Aww.
I didn't realize you two were such bird stands.
Yeah, that's actually. Have you seen that great film with Michael Keaton, Bird Stan? Anyway,
Fuck's sake. Am I going to like go home next and find out that I used to spend years dressed up as a robin, and that we're all just destined to like be obsessed with birds?
yeah, we're bird people now.
Golden Bloom.
Oh, bloody hell.
Seb, what's your Golden Bloom?
Well, mine honestly is his monologue. It's his.
Any specific moments of the monologue?
I mean, honestly, the moment where he. Actually, I'm going to take that back. he has a recurring thing in this film where he just grabs something soft and hits something else soft with it very aggressively a couple of times.
He did it with the. He grabbed that napkin and like beat a curtain up with it.
He did that with a cushion at one point as well, and I think he also did it with a towel. I wrote down that he did it 3 times, but the idea of just getting like a cloth and just like
beating another cloth with it.
What is he trying to achieve? Because it doesn't seem very satisfying to get your anger out.
It's his what's the word I'm thinking of? Like, he's very conscious of his surroundings. It's like a conscious rage.
I think that's maybe a bit about showing a bit about his character. Like, the whole idea at the end when it unravels is the fact that him and his wife never actually vocalized any of their issues, and he kept it all in. She let it out in like aggression and like being mean to him, and he kept it in by being smarmy and nice to everyone and actually like dying inside. So maybe that's what they were trying to convey there.
Just took it out on cloth, and she took it out
on them cloths, them poor cloths.
My golden bloom was the moment where he goes to visit his friend at his dentist's office, and he's working on like a filling for someone. She clocks Jeff and immediately starts saying like, I know he did it, I saw it on the news. And Jeff's like, immediate response, he just goes, hurt her, drill this woman.
Look, Howard, just relax, okay?
He did it. I know he did
Sanchez,
it. I read in the paper.
Let the filling dry. Just hold it.
Hurt this woman. Drill her, please.
Look, Howard, you're going to be fine.
And it just absolutely killed me.
Yeah, I did actually forget about that.
That was my golden bloom. Beth?
My golden bloom is where the what did IMDb describe her as? The milkmaid? No, the mint maid.
The pillow mint maid.
The pillow mint maid is when she's obviously cottoned on to something that he's done, so she pulls out the tray with 2 mints on it and takes one off, and then hands him one through the door. And he looks down and sees 1 mint, and it's kind of this moment of connection where they both know something's not right, because she's like, you know, why is he only accepting 1 mint? And he's like, why is she only giving me 1 mint? And he takes the mint and then just looks at her with this very perturbing kind of, you know more than you should know smile. And that's my golden bloom, because it's kind of creepy.
I like those. I like very, very small golden blooms. I like it as close to the moment as you can get is what I like.
Can I offer a broader one as well?
Subtlety.
That I feel like we should mention that he's very sweaty.
He's quite sweaty, yeah. He does mop himself a lot in this.
Yeah, he's shiny the whole time.
There is a lot of sweaty people in this film, to be fair, just in general.
Well, it's Madrid, I guess. It's hot.
Where are they supposed to be? They're supposed to be somewhere nice on their second honeymoon. Oh, they're in Barcelona.
Yeah,
that explains.
His office is in Madrid. His job is in Madrid. They live there, and then they went on holiday to Barcelona, and then they went on holiday to Catalonia, according to how it's pronounced in the film.
Seb?
Yeah, Matt.
You know what to do, mate. Give us a bit of the Bloomiverse.
So, I think he's on holiday, like, from his responsibilities. Because I feel like a lot of what he's been dealing with in some of his other, like, learning things, like when he's been in Hollywood or when he's been a writer or anything, I feel like it's all been, like, relatively high pressure. I mean, and he's been killed a couple of times, so, you know, clearly it's relevant.
I mean, he is a VP. He's like an executive at this water company.
That's true, but it's just water, you know? You don't need to sell water to people. People need it.
Well, he did at one point, and he failed the meeting.
I mean, that's true. That is actually very true. Although within that scene, I do like his pronunciation of Evian to describe an alternative water brand.
Well, he's in Europe, you know.
Well, when in Rome, am I right? Except it's Madrid. But I feel like he wanted to get out of. Also, sorry. First thing, timeline-wise, this is clearly still when he wants to just live in Europe and not America for a while.
Yeah, we're in this phase.
Yeah.
To add to timeline, saw him run for a bit. He's getting closer to the bop.
One of my notes is in capitals. Slightly odd running.
Yeah, That's the thing. He's leaning over to the bop. Maybe this is one of the times he didn't bring running over with him, and this is his natural run. We now see him in his full natural run, which is full bop. But I think he's edging towards the bop in this.
Yeah.
But please continue.
Yeah, it's probably a solid 60 to 70% on the bop scale.
Big time.
But the big time bop scale. Anyway. But yeah, so I feel like he wanted a break from things that could potentially get him killed.
So he goes to murder.
Well, that's an accident, isn't it? He didn't start this life thinking I'm going to marry a woman and then eventually murder her.
Yeah, well, as far as we know.
Well, I don't think so. I think he married her and then realized that actually the prescribed heteronormative relationship sort of thing that was very, very much presented as the only option within the 90s, and to this day still a fair amount, probably realised that was not necessarily the best for him, because he was living and had married someone who maybe they weren't very good for each other. Should he have said, I'm going to murder her? No. That's not the correct option to get out of such a relationship. Although at the end Sorry, I've left the Bloomiverse, but at the end they get back together again, which is a whole separate thing.
They do.
But I feel like this was between... I think this might be at the end of his European run. And after this, he goes back to being a Hollywood bigwig or something.
Nice. Love a bigwig.
Love a bigwig. Love a bigwig on holiday. Love a bigwig in Barcelona with a big time bop.
Wow, that's a lot. That's a lot. Well, taglines?
Sorry?
Taglines?
Oh, you just became a robot temporarily, so it was quite a loud just buzz, but I assume you said taglines.
I did say that.
Nice.
So, number 1, when divorce just isn't final enough. Number 2, it isn't always marital bliss. And number 3, a water exec, a callous wife, and a mistaken case of murder.
Ooh. For some unknown reason.
The second one sounds like dialogue.
Are you thinking the second one?
No, I think the second one sounds like dialogue,
okay.
which meant that Liam ran out of time and just plucked a line of dialogue out of the film as a tagline. So I think he wrote that one.
I just don't know that I've ever heard Liam say the word callous before, which is why I'm leaning towards the third one being the real one.
Callous out of the context of having something on your foot.
Yeah.
Yeah, as being a callous person.
Yeah.
Callous person, yeah. And just because I can imagine you saying callous in that context for some reason. Not that you have calluses on your feet. I can just imagine you saying something about that.
No, that tracks.
I'm leaning towards the third one.
A water exec, a callous wife, and a mistaken case of murder.
Yeah.
It's shit, but it makes sense.
Seb?
No, yeah, I'm locked in.
Wrong!
Fine. Liam, sorry that I didn't think you had the word callous in your vocabulary.
Well, I mean, I do, but I also just took that straight from the plot.
Oh, okay, fair enough. So which one is it?
They describe as a callous wife in the plot. It is when divorce just isn't final enough. Which is...
Was that the first one?
Yeah, that's the tagline. And it's pretty fucking savage, if you ask me.
Yeah, I don't think it's a very good one.
No, it's not. Which, I mean, I couldn't really think of what to get right for this one either. It's not an easy film to write a tagline about.
Yeah, it also doesn't really make sense because he states in the film that divorce is a worse option if he feels like murdering her is the easier get out, because then he doesn't have to go through a divorce because he knows that she'll win, because it's very like that, isn't it? Competitive divorces in America, like both parties fighting against each other. So that doesn't really make any fucking sense. But hey ho.
That's Baz Taylor for you.
They should have just had the just change it. How do you edit IMDb? He's in it for 59 minutes, by the way.
Oh, right.
Of an hour and 31.
Most of it. That's probably the most so far, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Nice.
I mean, he is the lead actor, and it is mostly just about him.
Yeah, big Jeff energy, mate. That's why it's third. So, I guess we should probably announce what we're doing for next episode.
Oh God, is that next time?
That is the next episode. The next film that we will be covering is the one and only Jurassic Park.
Oh, Jurassic. No, I never heard of it. Yeah, very exciting. So we're going to do something a bit different, hey?
Yeah, we are going to release a full commentary of Jurassic Park. We're going to do a full watch through, but we'll also be filming the Zoom chat, so that'll be on our YouTube channel. And the twist is that we will also be drinking Jurassic Park inspired cocktails and playing a Jurassic Park drinking game the entire way through the film.
I can't believe that you're making us film ourselves, put it on the internet after all the hairdressers have been closed for 6 months.
We'll all wear bald caps. How about that?
I'm
Or
not
we
going to
can-
get a bald cap
that's
for
fine.
this.
Coward.
Do you know how sweaty that would
We're
get?
going to look like
Hairy coward.
I think we're going to look like a country like Christian rock band siblings / lovers.
I'm trying to remember what was Jeff's hair like, because I've got quite a few wigs in the house. So what's Ian Malcolm's hair like?
Short and
So I
dark.
might go
It's
fully in.
wet. I think it's wet.
Yeah.
From what I can remember.
Because if I've got the ability, I might just go fully Ian Malcolm for the record. I've got some old square black glasses. I'll just colour them in with a Sharpie.
You'd have to get quite oily, I think.
Easy. I just won't wash until we record next.
Commitment.
What if I came as a dinosaur? How would we feel about that?
Oh, please, Seb.
I
Please
mean-
be a dinosaur.
I mean,
for
I'm
the
not
whole
going
recording.
to, but it would be funny.
Just do face paint. Do face paint.
No, I'm not going to do
Seb,
that.
please face paint a dinosaur onto your face.
I think you should buy one of those hideous, massive outfits that were really popular on the internet like a year ago.
Yeah.
With those.
Yeah, that are made of like
dinosaurs.
full vinyl and will be the loudest thing on a recording you've ever heard in your life.
Yeah. Yeah.
Any noise Seb makes, like, it's like rustling all over the place.
Got to be trying to like be delicate with like little glasses or something, or wearing one of those suits. Having to like throw,
Yeah, so
throw
I
a
guess-
drink into my like mouth. Yeah.
Into your gullet, which would actually be the dinosaur's neck.
I might dress as Laura Dern, but from a different film, maybe Wild at Heart.
Nice.
Not that that's like that. That's
I
just
like
the
it.
closest thing I can think. I just can't think of anyone else in that film I'd want to dress up as. Maybe I'll dress as the pile of dung.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
How would I do that? How do you dress as a pile of dung? Maybe I'll put a call out on Instagram.
Just cover yourself in mud.
And like
just
I
sit in
feel like
mud.
there's lots of like straw or hay or something in there as well.
Yeah, sit in mud, roll in some straw, come and hit record. Done.
And if Jurassic Park was going to be scientifically accurate, all of the dinosaurs would have feathers, so you could always feather yourself as well.
Yeah, tar and feather yourself before you come and record this.
I feel like covering myself in feathers is sullying the authenticity of Jurassic Park and the fact that Spielberg spoke out and said that he was not going to make the new ones with feathers.
Yeah, but what does Steven Spielberg know?
He's only made some of the highest grossing movies of all time.
Yeah, name me one
That-
successful film he's made.
E.T.
I'm literally reading a book at the moment that is explaining the fact that all the highest grossing, just because a film is high grossing, means that the film's probably shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Avatar.
Great book. It's a great book. Yeah. Yeah. That's one of the main examples.
There's going to be 5 of them fuckers, man.
Yeah. Eventually.
It's a lot.
5 avatars.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's already written them all. That's still one less than the Sharknado franchise, though, so...
Not
And they have the best titling scheme of all time. Sharknado 2, the second one.
what's the third?
Sharknado, the fourth awakens.
I really hate most people on this earth. Like, with a passion. Like, really, really strongly.
Someone gave me a tip at a restaurant I used to work at because of that film, so don't knock it.
Okay.
Okay.
Anyway,
Yeah, so we have
We're
absolutely
doing
no
that
idea how this is
thing
going to
where
go
we
next.
spiral.
Yeah, big time. Yeah, we have no idea how this episode is going to come out next week. 2 weeks, sorry. We just thought that one, we have all watched Jurassic Park unspeakable times, and it's been spoken about so much that I don't know if there's anything that new we can bring to like our normal discussion. So we thought we'd spice it up a little and give you a full commentary.
It's going to be good.
Sure.
It's going to be jam-packed with surprises and exciting Easter eggs.
Special guests.
And I don't think I've been drunk in over a year. So...
Fun.
This could be fun.
Really?
Yeah, man. I mean, the world's a toilet, isn't it? So...
What's the day today? Wednesday? Oh, no, I was relatively recently, but it was for a good reason, so don't worry about it.
All right, settle down, Seb. I know you've got your meetings to go to, but come on, don't air all your bad laundry up in it.
I heard you say bad lingerie, and I want you to know that if I did have some, it would be bad, and I mean bad in a good way.
Fuck's sake. Put that on the list of something that I would rather burn my eyes out before seeing.
Catch me at the next, Rihanna fashion show. Get some.
Yeah, I guess on that note, if you could share the show. Actually, for everyone that shares the show, we get closer to Seb never buying lingerie and being on a Rihanna fashion show.
I don't know if that's
so if
true.
you could please,
it might actually be the opposite.
It is. No, because the more that you share, the more I will make sure it never fucking happens.
Okay, well.
I'll dedicate my life to it. So please do that. Share the show where you can. Give us a rating on iTunes and all that. If you want to get in touch with us, we are at foreverinblum on Instagram or foreverinblum@gmail.com if you want to get in touch for any ridiculous theories that you have about our boy. Anything else?
I think that's it.
Yeah,
dude.
that's it, mate.
Next time we see you all will be in Jurassic World.
You'll actually see us for the first time if you do want to.
Oh my
But
God.
otherwise, if you don't, which wouldn't recommend it, just carry on listening. It's fine. It'll be just as chaotic, I am sure.
Yeah, we'll try and avoid too many visual gags.
Yeah, we'll see.
But
I can't. Like I said, haven't drunk for probably a year and a half. Who knows what we're gonna get?
I mean, yeah, fair enough. But yeah, thanks everyone.
Yeah, thank you.
What do we usually say at the end?
We don't. That's the thing.
Suffer with us.
We'll see you in a couple of weeks. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.